Welcome to day 5 of 31 Days of Strange for the month of October that I'm doing for my channel, and just displaying things in my collection or that I recommend or find strange, macabre, interesting, or that are in my witchcraft practice or just my day-to-day mundane life and what is the latest strange. Okay, so today is another movie recommendation review. I just watched this as of very recent. This one, as you can see here, this is the Blu-ray. This is the Crowhaven farm movie. This is a movie from 1970 that is a made-for-television movie. And it has, as you can see, John Carradine in it, who was an iconic actor in many horror movies and different things along those lines. In Hope Lange. It was obviously made for TV, so it was a low-budget film. No disrespect on that. Actually, it was one of the better low-budget films I've seen in my whole 40-plus years of watching and remembering different various horror movies or movies just overall, in my perspective. I like this one. I give this one a actual, because I did like the storyline, I did like the effects, the acting was good. Even though it was filmed in Southern California, it still had that complete, they did a good job at creating what seemed like it was Salem in the history and information. A little bit of it was a little off, but again, it's fictional and it's a story. So with that being said on here, so here's the back of it. Now, this movie, as I said, I give it an 8.5 out of 10, okay? 9 and up really goes for certain movies or things that I watch and rewatch. I will definitely be rewatching this one again in the future, with that being said. So this is a typical type of story. Crowhaven Farm is regarding, it's a couple that basically, or someone that inherits a farm. First, it shows kind of in the beginning, not to give away anything or full spoilers, but it's the typical thing through inheritance. They're at, will reading, blah, blah, blah. And basically, there was someone else there that inherited first, and then the next person, who was one of the main characters, would inherit it if something happened to them. Well, that person actually traveled there, like right away, after the reading and stuff. And they died by nefarious meanings, or end, should I say. So basically, in that respective to that, there's a foreshadowing right there. You see a character that's involved. We're not going to go into that to give away anything. But therefore, through those that basically that accident, don't mind the dogs in the backyard, that I am in my backyard, so there is the dogs outside. They obviously recognize that someone's outside. So basically, so they got that. So from the beginning, there's obviously foreshadowing. She gets there, and there's two main characters, a husband and wife, that have a very strange relationship. This is kind of his way of hoping going to a rural area versus a city will kind of help to mend their relationship and bring it back to the marriage and what they want. Well, immediately she starts having weird and strange and paranormal experiences happen to her. She already says she doesn't want to stay. He makes a promise that you stay and give it a chance for everything involved. Then I will promise to, when you ask for something, you really need it, I will adhere to that type of thing. So lots of foreshadowing things show, as they do in many movies, or especially many horror movies. This is kind of more of a supernatural one. So there is the element of paranormal and witchcraft in this. A lot of superstition, a lot of backstory and history. You have like a professor type of guided character that's kind of trying to help aid and warn in that. As she starts saying, staying there longer, visions start happening. Some of the other characters are very shady, to say the least, of course. You gotta have those. That's part of the plot and the storyline. But also alludes to many things. So many things that make sense. Or not adding up, at least for her, but no one else is saying it. It's in her head. So basically, as time progresses and she starts reading a book, and that like professor type of scholarly type of guy warns her, she comes across more, and basically 1 and 1 starts adding up, and 2 and 2 starts adding up, those type of things in sequential manner. And she starts seeing things that other people aren't seeing, and again, it's in your head. And one of the characters in there comes into play and affects it. So basically, she knows from the beginning and had a sensory because of the paranormal and visionary experiences the main character did, that she was a reincarnation, that she's been in this home, this stage, this property, and more just keeps showing up for her as deja vu in experience. So then basically it has to do with her previous life in Salem during the witchcraft trial period, pretty much. So with that being said, lots of things start happening, not to give away the rest of the story or the plot, but it of course keeps escalating to eventually to the point where basically the husband doesn't stick to his vow that I mentioned. We're not going to go into that, but he does not. She's obviously very creeped out. The people that are there in her life, in her presence, are from basically her past life. She recognizes it, the same face, features, expression looming over her in certain circumstances. So, yeah. So basically, it's the reincarnation of her previous self and her previous soul or life, and those people that are interconnected. So it comes to basically a head where she's basically coming to be attacked for previous crimes, indiscretions, etc., by the other characters in the film. And so there's a lot associated with witchcraft history, a lot that's not true, but again, just a fictional story. Just not to go too much into it, I definitely recommend this. Also for coming to the point of things like revenge, retribution, but also in certain things that if you do give this a try or seen this before, of how self-preservation and self-serving can come into play in one's life, or preservation, or can be a means to an end. Whether it be your past or actually in your current life, they can go hand in hand. So if you are a fan of strange and macabre movies and witchcraft and older and made for television movies, I highly recommend this. Again, I give this an 8.5 out of 10, so that's pretty good on my part. This will definitely be a rewatch in my collection and future repertoire, so I hope this finds you all well. If you have seen this before or you're interested and do watch this, please comment below and let me know your thoughts or feelings on this. Please like, comment, subscribe, as it helps my channel grow. And with that being said, have a great and spooky day.